Higher, higher, higher. Let's take it. Let's take it. Let's take it. Let's take it. We gon' with some we going higher on the case for we going higher on the case for we're gonna get it elevated to the What's good, ladies and gentlemen? This is your boy KCFL, King Self for Life Wrestling Takes. Here to give you my honest take about Forbidden Door, live from the backyard. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what it is about Tony Khan bringing wrestling out over this way, but my goodness. When wrestling comes to Chicago, these cats just somehow know how to go off. I gotta give everybody that was a part of this show nothing but props. Now, I just had to ask Tony Khan, how the heck did you hype this show up? Why did you hype the show up to where we gave a care about everything that took place on this show? Because for somebody who was only interested in about, 2 matches, I'm here to tell you, I dang near liked every match that came on this show. Now, I'm going to go in on a few matches on the pre-show, and I'm going to talk about certain things that happened in the 2 main events. But outside of that, I got to give Tony and them all the praise. I have to. I cannot hate. You know me. I come on here, be ready to chop up something, be ready to tear them down. If it's something stupid, I'll tell you it's stupid. But Forbidden Door, everybody who participated on this show, I got to give all these cats props. The cats who came through from the New Japan side, the AEW cats that came through, man, kudos to everybody, man. Let's break down the show. Let's break it down. So we open up the pre-show, the buy-in. First matchup was Mr. Aaron Solo and QT Marshall, and they went against Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi. This is an okay opener, okay for what it was. The New Japan cats was going over. You already knew that. QT and Aaron, they could do whatever they want, but damn well they wasn't winning. You already knew that. This is my first time seeing Goto and Yoshihashi. I've never seen these cats wrestle before. They pretty solid wrestlers. It was a pretty solid tag team match. So good opener in the pre-show. Grade C+. Whoever was the guy that graded this, I agree with that grade. Grade is good. Next, this matchup just got added out the woodwork. Nick Comoroto versus Lance Archer. Ladies and gentlemen, this was an actual good match. Now, the question I had to ask TK, why the heck don't you give Nick Comoroto had something going on with the straitjacket. Have him play the crazy caveman that anytime when he's in that straitjacket, he's acting bizarre. He's like, you don't want me to come out of the straitjacket. The moment I come out of the straitjacket, you're done for. I'm going to tear you up. Like, he had some kind of character. They was doing something, but it just felt like they didn't really have nothing for him, which they did. Tony Khan just chose not to do anything with him. So we get this match. I already know how Lance Archer is. You know what Lance Archer done did with Jake the Snake Roberts and all that stuff. Lance Archer then revamped himself, and he's the everybody dies that gets in the ring with him and all that stuff. But two big bohemians like these two, they actually had a pretty solid match. They was going at it. They was beating each other up. Nick Comoroto was actually manhandling him. He was going in. But Lance Archer finally woke the heck up and realized, why the heck am I allowing this wannabe caveman / straight jacket clown get the best of me? I can't do that. Lance Archer finally woke the heck up. Oh, and before the match started, Lance Archer tried to do some crazy move, or he tried to do something where he jumped from the second turnbuckle rope. And I'm like, Lance, please don't try to injure yourself. Now, when he came down, he damn near went on his head, but he kind of made it look like it was a soft landing. And I said, man, what the heck is this fool doing? Is he trying to re-injure himself again? That's why I say, man, cats need to be careful with that, because AEW right now can't afford no more injuries, especially what we got in the co-main event. I can't wait to talk about that. Lance Archer gets the victory, rightfully so. I've been asking for Lance Archer to finally win. I've been wanting to see Lance Archer win for a long time, and this was the right call. The right man went over. This is a good man match, and as of right now, this is the best match out of the first two matches. Now, we get to the third match, tag team match. We got Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee taking on Yashin Nobu, Kane Maru, and El Desperado. This matchup was all about story, and I'm going to be honest with y'all, I was actually kind of concerned because I told y'all, anytime I see us on the show, I kind of cause the pause, because I don't know if we're going over. I don't know. I feel like we just be on the show just to take the L sometimes. I hate to feel that way, but it's based on how we've been presented. Remember, it's not just about representation. It's about presentation as well. This matchup was all about storytelling. And Yashin and El Desperado played the heel roles perfectly, because you know the storyline with Keith Lee and Swerve. Are they coexisting? Are they on the same page? What the heck are they going to do? And throughout this whole matchup, it was about storytelling about Lee, storytelling about Swerve. Swerve was putting in that work. The crowd was hyped. They were saying whose house. They were saying bask in his glory. They was hyped for this match. And I got to give props to the fans being behind Swerve and Lee. I told y'all, sometime I'll be wondering how people is going to react when it's concerning us. And I got to give the Chicago crowd. They was going crazy for these cats. They went crazy for El Dorado and them. But El Desperado and Yashin. But they played the heel roles. They was cheating. Yashin, he kind of was playing like the drunk man. He actually got some whiskey and spit it in Keith Lee's face and everything. And so I'm thinking like, oh man, I know they ain't finna cheat to win, right? Like, that's what I'm saying to myself. But Swerve and Lee came out with the victory. They won. Crowd went crazy. And then next thing you know, out the woodwork, chilling in the crowd, you hear Will Hobbs and Swerve. Will Hobbs and Ricky Starks talking smack, talking about who y'all supposed to be, the fake Kobe and Shaq. If y'all supposed to be Kobe and Shaq, we is Jordan and Pippen. And then Ricky Starks started going in, and he was talking about, oozing with charisma. This is why I got to give props for Tony putting Hobbs together with Ricky Starks and Taz, because it just seems like Will Hobbs has just been bleeding off of that, and I'm enjoying it. I'm liking where they're going. Now the question I want is, let's get to the next level. The next level is to get them to where they can be on the pay-per-view card. Now, I'm not talking about the pre-show. I'm talking about being on the main card, if you know what I'm saying. But if I was Lee and Swerve, I wish they would have said, man, y'all clowns, y'all busters, what y'all want? Y'all want us to have another match too. We see y'all clowns on Dynamite. There you go. You're setting up something. So I get they trying to set up the final matchup, because they was talking smack, talking about y'all clowns think y'all the best tag team. Y'all just some busters. Look, we'll tear y'all clowns up anytime, anywhere. So good little segment back and forth. Good. Now the main event on the pre-show. So I told y'all that I kind of been back and forth with this pairing of the Acclaim and the A Boys with Billy Gunn. So we had, like I said, Max Caster with Billy Gunn and the A Boys. And you already know Anthony Bowens is still in the wheelchair, and they was taking on Yuya Uemura, Alice Covington, the DKC, and Kevin Knight. Now, as they did their little stick, you know what I'm talking about. They come out, Max cuts his cheesy Chi-Town rhyme. He in Chi-Town. He cut the rhyme about what he getting ready to do to the boys and all this crazy stuff. What he about to do to the New Japan cats. So then, here come Austin and Colton talking about some Tokyo Dome. Like, you know, fans like, come on now. And then when Colton got on the mic, he said, Wisconsin, and you know the fans is booing. And Anthony Bowen sitting there looking at them like fools. Give me the damn mic. He got that microphone. Chicago. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, man, when I say I'm one of the biggest Acclaim fans on the planet, I am. I want to see these boys succeed. I cannot wait till my man get 100% ready and get him healed, because I do want to see them win them AEW Tag Team Champions. There's no question. The Acclaim are over like a mug. They are over. They listen, they're a comedy act through and through, but I enjoy everything they do. So, as we get ready to get the match started, here come this bozo, Danhausen, popping up on the screen telling the A-Boys that he has a present for them. And I'm sitting up and saying to myself, what? And I legit said to myself, how the heck did Danhausen kill the vibe of something that I'm not quite in on, but I was kind of going with the vibe, because now they starting to rock. Now I'm starting to, feel what they're trying to do. Danhausen killed the whole vibe. So his music played, but it had the A-Boys in the background, and they had the little hypnotizer thing. So they just run to the back. And so now I'm sitting up and saying to myself, now it's a 2-on-4 match. Max Caster basically got jumped the whole match. Then Billy Gunn got in the ring. He tried to do a little something. Listen, Billy Gunn is in excellent shape. I got to give him props. I called him out on all the blackface he was doing. But he's in excellent shape, and somehow he's still able to go himself. And Max Caster was getting towed up. He getting there. He started doing something. Then the four of them started jumping on Billy Gunn. And then Billy Gunn finally got back to Max. Max does his finisher. I forgot what it's called. It's called mic drop, which is an elbow drop. It's called mic drop. 1, 2, 3, Max Caster gets the victory. And I got to say, you know what? For a handicap match, because that's what it was, basically what it was. It was a handicap match. It was okay, I think Swerve and them had the better match out of all four of the matches. But from what we got, it was actually a pretty solid pre-show. So I got to give Tony Khan props on, even though I think that all these matches, you could have saved them for Dynamite and Rampage. Like, you could have had these matches be the matches to get us ready for Forbidden Door. Real talk. I'm just being 1,000% with you. Even though the matches were solid, it was actually a pretty good pre-show. I got to give them props. Like, it did get you ready. It got you kind of somewhat hyped for the show. So that's the pre-show, ladies and gentlemen. So now we get ready to move on to the main event. So we kick off the show with the trios match. Jericho Society, Mr. Jericho himself, with Mr. Guevara and Suzuki versus Kingston, Yuta, and my guy who I've never seen wrestle before from New Japan Wrestling, Umino. This was a very good trios match. I gotta give everybody props. Cats was tearing each other up. Cats was telling the story. They was getting you invested in what they was trying to tell you. And then, before the match happened, they kind of told you that back in the day when Jericho used to be a part of New Japan Wrestling, he basically had my man Umino or Umino. Sorry, I'm trying to pronounce it, y'all. Forgive me. Umino. He had him in the walls of Jericho, and I said, Tony Khan, why didn't you let us know about this on Dynamite or Rampage? Why didn't you give us the backstory about why Umino was pulling up? Like, that could have gave us something like to anticipate, like, okay, now I see why they kind of picked that man to join them, because he has beef going on with Jericho. And I say, this is why I say, with the whole New Japan stuff, Tony Khan could have went a little bit harder, and you could have gave us a little backstory about all the cats that work over in New Japan. Because there's a host of cats like myself who really don't know all these cats. Like, this is my first time seeing quite a few of these cats wrestle tonight. But this matchup was good. This is a very good match. They told an excellent story of what they was trying to tell you. Eddie Kingston and the crowd was doing everything. They was putting in that work, but they came up short. Jericho ended up winning. Suzuki gonna be Suzuki. He's the old cat that just gonna hit you in the chest, and Eddie Kingston was feeling that. Then he'll put you in a couple of submission holds and doing all that crazy stuff. Yuta was putting in that work. Yuta was over like a mug, ladies and gentlemen. Yuta is over. Yuta is over. I'm telling you, listen, getting with the BCC, it pushed him to where he needed to be. And we're going to see a whole lot more Yuta once this Ring of Honor TV show gets started, ladies and gentlemen. Jericho and them ended up winning. Right guys went over. I picked Yuta in them, but I should have knew that Jericho and them was winning, because you already know what's going to happen on Blood and Guts on Wednesday night. So good opener so far. Show's fire. So far. So we move on to. Hold on, I wish I could click out of that Bleach Report. Yeah, maybe later. We move on to the next match now. Roppongi Vice, United Empire, FTR. Triple threat tag team for all the titles. Ring of Honor titles and the IWGP tag team titles. This matchup started off like it was finna be great, and then Dax so-called gets injured, and I'm sitting up and saying to myself, here we go again. The injuries is killing AEW. It's like, dang, not again. Then Dave Meltzer gonna pop online and talk about something. Oh, it's a work, ladies and gentlemen. As soon as that fool said it's a work, everything going on, I'm kind of not paying attention because I'm out, because I'm thinking like, oh man, now here's the deal. Cash was still trying to work. Jeff Cobb, Great O'Con, and Trent and Rocky doing great. And Cash is still out there trying to put in that work. So I'm like, and then here come Dax. When Dax came back out, the Chicago crowd went crazy. They popped like crazy. He had his arm in a little sling or whatever. Came back, put in that work. I know there's a lot of people who do not like FTR. I don't know why. I don't know what the hatred is for FTR. People say they boring. People say they can't stand their guts. I've heard every excuse. I heard people say they overrated. FTR is right now the hottest tag team in wrestling, period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I know fools love the Young Bucks. Fools love the Usos. They love every other group. FTR right now is killing the game right now. And with the storyline that they tried to tell, FTR goes over. They are now the new Iwpg tag team titles. They have the Ring of Honor titles. So now you already know who they get ready to come into a collision course with. We're getting ready to get part 3. The Young Bucks versus FTR whenever the time calls for it. It's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you right now, it's going to happen. But good good tag team triple threat match. So like I said, I kind of went out when Dax got hurt, but when he came back and they did all the little crazy stuff that they was trying to do, FTR ends up winning. The right guys went over. I called that. Good match. So we move on to this matchup right here. Now, Tanahashi, I think his name is. Listen, all of them got the same. They last names all sound similar. I don't know what it is, but they all sound similar. My man was replaced because he got injured. So we got this cowboy-looking cat. Listen, this is no disrespect to Clark Connors, But I feel like he was one of those creative wrestlers that WWE had, where you could just sit up and create a wrestler. I was calling him Build the Bear, where you call him Build the Wrestler, because that's exactly what he looked like. Well, he cut a promo before the match, talk about he can ready to pull the upset, and he gonna win this, and he gonna showcase why he one of the best in the game and all this stuff. These 4 cats went out there. Match kind of started slow, but these 4 cats went out there and they killed it. These 4 cats went to work. Miro, Pac, Malachi, and even Clark went to work, ladies and gentlemen. I got no complaints. Pac got what he deserved. I had Malachi Black winning. But you know what? Pac has been putting in that work for a long time. And I've been asking myself, what are they going to do with Pac? What are they going to do? Pac is now your new AEW All-Atlantic Champion. That's who he is. He got it. Well deserved. Miro was putting in that work. Miro set up his own trap by going through a chair, going through a table. Malachi called himself trying to win by spitting the black mist out. But it wasn't good enough. My man Pac won. Crowd was insane for this whole matchup. Good old kudos to these cats. These cats, they tore it up. They tore each other up. So, got no complaints here. They did a great job. Let's move on. This matchup right here. My guy right here, he got injured. So, it turned into another trios match. The Bullet Club versus the Dudes with Attitude. Sting, Darby Allin, and I forgot my man's name right here. I forgot his name. Versus the Bucks. And I forgot his name too. Fantasmo or something like that. The Young Bucks listen, I call the Young Bucks clowns because you know you're going to get a circus every time they find a way to get in the ring with somebody. Young Bucks are good wrestlers, but you know every match they do, you're going to see some type of circus, clown, buffoonish, foolish, goofy stuff happening. Because that's exactly what they're going to do. Now, before the match happened, they played it off as they beat the bricks off of Sting, so as the Sting wasn't going to be coming out. The lights go out. Next thing you know, they got Sting chilling all the way in the Raptors. The lights go off again. Next thing you know, Sting is down there with them. I said, I don't know what the clown they did. I don't know if they had somebody else dressed up like Sting up top or something, because I know dang well they ain't have Sting 63-year-old behind somehow jump all the way down there. You know that would happen. But I got to give Sting props, you know what I'm saying? But the match itself, listen, Darby, my man's up top. All of them putting in that work. Sting is 63 years old, still out here showcasing that he can go. I don't know what it is. There's a lot of people that don't like Sting either. Man, this dude is a man of God out here putting in that work. Man, kudos to the Bucks and kudos to, and even they had Hileo, his behind was getting involved in everything. Darby Allin jumping and doing all these crazy moves on him and all this stuff. I'm like, hey man, everybody did work. They did a great job. This was an excellent match. Kudos to everybody. The Dudes with Attitudes, they get the victory. Sting so far is undefeated. I got to give Sting props. He's undefeated right now, so kudos to them. Now, the ladies. I wish Tony Khan would have did a better job building this. This actually was a very good women's match. Toni Storm has showcased that she's one of the best women's wrestlers in the game right now. You looking at somebody who, like, I thought Toni was decent, but I didn't see all this. Like, I watched it carefully. I watched it very carefully on NXT. I did. And there was a lot of people that enjoyed her work back in WWE. They did. I wasn't on the bandwagon because I wasn't really that impressed. This young lady has come to AEW and she's taken over the division by herself. I gotta give this young lady props. She made the right decision leaving WWE, and she's doing what everybody thought Ruby Soho was gonna become. Toni Storm is out here showcasing why she made the right decision to jump over. Thunder Rosa and her had a pretty solid match. Started off kind of slow. I'm sitting up and saying to myself, like, okay, what are they going to do? The matchup was pretty much about Thunder Rosa struggling to take this young lady out. She tried so many different move sets, and every time she tried to do something, it just didn't work. So she got frustrated. So I'm like, Are they going to turn Thunder Rosa heel? That's what I'm saying to myself. Like, is this what they're going to do? She kept trying. She tried everything. It just was not working. She couldn't put it away. She could not put it away. But then as we moved forward, as we got closer to the end of the match, Thunder Rosa was able to finish to do her finisher on her. Took it out 1, 2, 3. She is still your AEW Women's Champion. I called it. I said she would win. I just thought they was probably going to do something different by having Nyla Rose and Marina Shafir end up being her muscle or something like that. No, they didn't go that route. So after the match, they shook each other's hand. As of right now, don't know where we're going. I have no clue, but I'm very interested in seeing where we move forward. Like I said, I still think that Thunder Rosa's AEW title run as of right now is still kind of subpar. It just seems like the matches and stuff, the match qualities that she's been having has been okay. Thunder Rosa, Britt Baker match, alright. You already know what you was going to get from Nyla Rose. Marina match, nope. Serena match, fire. This matchup was fire as well. So, kudos to both of these ladies. They did work. Crowd was actually pretty much into it. They was into it. They was cheering. They was going in. Listen, Chi-Town is the place. Listen, when people want to have wrestling shows, I guess you come out this way. Because it just seems like when cats come over here, cats just seem to go nuts. They go crazy in the ring. And that's the name of the game. My city is a hardcore wrestling head city. And you coming out this way putting on wrestling, you better give your A game. You better go hard in the paint. Because if you ain't going hard in the paint, my people gonna let you know. They're gonna let you know right away. If the match is trash, they'll let you know it's trash. If it's good, they'll let you know the match is good. So kudos to them. Ladies did great. So now, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I was excited for this matchup before Tony Khan decided to do the trios match on Dynamite. Ladies and gentlemen, I knew that this match was going to slap. This match was 50,000 times better than a slap. OC and Will Ospreay for the Iwpg US title. They showcased why this matchup was match of the night. There is no question. I listen. OC is a circus clown through and through. He is a lazy daisical wrestler. That's who he is. But when OC wants to go nuts in the ring, he will go nuts. And he's done this multiple times. So I don't know why people be hating on OC. My thing about why I wasn't excited, because I seen a little bit of it on Dynamite. But I knew that they was going to go hard in the paint. I already knew they was. I knew that it was going to kill it. I knew that they was going to kill it. And that's exactly what these two young men did. Now, Will Ospreay did have his goons out there. I forgot what you call the two tag team cats. They was out there, and you knew they was going to cheat. You already knew that. But this matchup was pretty much Will Ospreay was basically going into this match as a cocky dude. Like, this dude that I'm getting ready to wrestle is a circus clown through and through. I should not be struggling with a circus clown like OC. None. He struggled. OC played that lazy daisical game with him. He played him. And he caught Will Ospreay off guard multiple times. And this young man is a slow kick outer. They made you think OC was walking out with this title several different times. I mean, you do this, he do that, and the man, he kicks out at count number 2.9 or something like that. Every time. And I said, man, listen, crowd was on their feet. They was ecstatic. They was going nuts. These two young men, they gave everything. And they shut all the haters down that was online talking, oh, this match going to be trash. I knew the match wasn't going to be trash. I already knew that. I said they was going to go crazy. I just didn't want the two of them wrestling each other before the pay-per-view. This is one thing I would love to ask Tony Khan. Please, if you are going to do a pay-per-view, please do not have the wrestlers that are wrestling each other at the pay-per-view wrestle before the pay-per-view. I do not want to see it. I don't want to see them wrestle because they're going to kind of give away what they want to do. Man, these cats went out there and they killed it. They did everything. OC had this match won so many different times, it didn't even make no sense. It didn't even make sense. You thought the match was over. Then, when he possibly looked like he was finna pin OC, everybody said, okay, this is it. OC messed around and kicked out. And Will Ospreay's reaction was like, you gotta be kidding me. How the heck am I struggling with a lazy clown like Orange Cassidy? Like, it makes no sense. So I gotta use my goons to help me out. OC out here playing around and beating a break. He was getting jumped by the goons, but then he messed around and started taking the goons out too. I was like, man, OC out here, listen, OC is a great wrestler. I gotta give Orange Cassidy props. He might be a circus clown through and through, but my goodness, man, this for me was honestly the match of the night. This was a show stealer, left and right, ladies and gentlemen. These boys tore each other up. These men, I'm going to call them men because they're grown men. These men tore each other up. I got to give everybody that was involved, even the referee was doing his part correctly. I mean, man, they told us a great story. The story was, I'm struggling with this circus clown. I can't beat, like, I should be able to beat him like 1, 2, 3. This should not be, it shouldn't be a struggle for me. I'm Will Ospreay. I'm the Iwpg US champion. My crew is basically running New Japan. We're running wrestling right now. I shouldn't be struggling with a clown like this. Oh, he struggled, ladies and gentlemen. But the struggle was a part of the storyline that was being told in the match. OC and Will Ospreay did their thing. OC thought he was finna win. He tried to fake certain things. Will Ospreay said, let me get this stuff over with. Will Ospreay did his finisher. 1, 2, 3. After the match, Will Ospreay and his goons was beating the brakes off of OC. And then here come Trent and Rocky Romero. They come out. They come out to get jumped. Then the music goes off. And I'm like, now, I'm not familiar with this cat. Don't know who he is. However, I did see pictures of him hanging out, drinking coffee outside the United Center. His name is Shingo or something like that. The crowd went nuts. The crowd went ape for him. They went crazy for him. He comes out there. He beats the brakes off of Will Ospreay's goon. Then he started beating the brakes off of Will Ospreay. He tore him up. So then, after he beat the brakes off of the three of them, those clowns run out the ring. OC stands up. He looks at him and everybody said, oh snap, what's about to pop off? OC puts the sunglasses on the man, and that's how that segment ends. Like I said, this is where I need an explanation on who are some of these cats that we're not familiar with, Tony Khan. This is where we need to get an explanation. Explain to us, who is this clown coming through? What is it about? I know a lot of the fans in attendance, they knew of him because somebody even had a sign, I'll cry if my man show up. And that's exactly what he did. He showed up. He showed up and the crowd went nuts. They went crazy. So like I said, kudos, good segment. But like I said, I just wish I knew of this cat. Like I wish I knew a little bit, a backstory about who the cat that came through. But ladies and gentlemen, this was the show stealer match of the night. No question. None. No complaints. Match was fire. Fire, fire, fire. So, now, let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. So, I already knew who the mystery opponent was going to be. We get Mr. Zack Sabre Jr. Sabre Jr. comes out, Mr. Cocky himself. So then, music goes off. Biggest pop of the whole night. Claudio Castagnoli, a.k.a. Cesaro, is all elite, ladies and gentlemen. My man is in the building. Chicago went crazy. That arena, the roof came off top. Biggest pop of the night. And now, there's been a certain referee. There's been a certain cameraman that's constantly gets shown on AEW television. I don't know his name. But he wears a face mask and a hat. So all you can see is his eyes. Now, a lot of people was all speculating from way back that dude that was wearing the face mask that was a cameraman was Claudio. So what he decided to do, he stand right next to the man. He was doing this as if, I know what y'all been saying. Y'all been saying that this cat was me. Me and him, I'm not him. We might look alike in the eyes, But that's not me. And I got what he was doing right there. I got to give kudos to Claudio for giving that little what's the word I'm looking for? The little egg or whatever. I forgot what you call it. But y'all know what I'm trying to. The similarities of what I'm trying to say. This was, as you want to say, this was a very technical type of match. Claudio tried to end the match real quick, right from the jump. I said, I know dang well it's not going to be a squash. So throughout the whole entire match, Zach was doing everything in his power to avoid the whirl around that Claudio did when he was in WWE. And he kind of got his arm, he kind of did a couple of submission moves on him. And so when he finally got him to do the twirl around, he wasn't able to do it for a long time because Zach had him in that submission mode. So then Zach got him right back and doing a couple of more submission moves. And like I said, basically this matchup was trying to see who was the better technical wrestler. And I'm going to be 1,000% which for somebody who's never really seen Zack Sabre Jr. wrestle before, the young man is good, but I think Claudio is a little bit better than him. That's my honest take. I think he's okay. I'm not, I got to see more of his work. Claudio ends up getting the victory. He beats him. Does the twirl around again. Like I said, solid technical match. This is a very technical match. Like I said, the right man went over, and he is now a part of the BCC. So kudos to Claudio coming through. Kudos for Brian for picking him up. And obviously, you knew exactly who he was talking about. You knew exactly who Brian's replacement was going to be. If it was like, oh, it's Johnny Gargano. Oh, it's Jonathan Gresham. No, not neither one of them. It was only one man. Claudio Castagnoli. That's it. So, solid match. They did what they had to do. Crowd went nuts. Now, this matchup, ladies and gentlemen, this was the second matchup that I was looking forward to. The IW World Heavyweight Championship, IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, Jay White, Hangman Page, Kazuchika Okada, and Adam Cole. Ladies and gentlemen, the crowd was hyped. Every guy getting called, everybody going nuts. And kudos to my New Japan Wrestling ring announcer. Homie was hype. He kind of had me laughing with how he was doing the things. You had Justin Roberts sitting right there. Now, throughout the whole night, they kept switching cats on commentary. You had my man from Ring of Honor there. You had my dude from New Japan there. You had JR come out for a couple of matches. You had Tony Schiavone come out for a couple of matches. Taz was on commentary. You already know Excalibur was going to be out there because Excalibur is the lead commentary. He's going to be out there for every match just about. But this matchup, ladies and gentlemen, because of what took place at the very end of this match, this could have possibly been show stiller because all four of these cats was out putting in. It was going hard. Listen, Hangman doing what he got to do. Okada doing what he has to do. Jay White doing what he has to do. Adam Cole's situation. Adam Cole was putting in the work. He was, for somebody who had a torn labrum, because that's what I was told. Torn labrum. He was working as much as he could, whatever he was able to do. And I'm watching this and I'm invested. And I'm like, man, they made you think Hangman was going to win. Then sometimes they made you think Okada was going to get his championship back. Then they made you think Adam Cole was going to win. Then they made you think Jay was going to win. I'm like, so I'm invested. I'm like, dang, who's going to win this thing? When Adam Cole's shoulder gave out, Jay White looked at the referee and he pushed Okada out the way. And then he just rolled up Adam Cole and the match just ended abruptly. And I was like, man, I said the match felt like it needed a little bit more time. I was very invested in this match because it was, in a way, like, even though it was a predictable match, they made you think that any one of these cats in this match could walk out with the championship. They really did. But because of the injury that happened to Adam Cole, it kind of made the match just ended abruptly like that. And I was like, dang. I was watching and I was like, man, I was enjoying the match. I was enjoying everything that the cats was trying to tell in the match. But then when Adam Cole's shoulder gave out, I was like, dang. And I was like, man, now, ladies and gentlemen, y'all know me. I don't give 10 out of 10s. That I don't. But ladies and gentlemen, as good as this show was, I was on the verge of possibly doing that. Jay White retains his Iwpg championship. The Rifleman went over. Now, I know a lot of people was thinking Kenny Omega was going to probably come out. Now, you saw the Young Bucks and Kenny and Kyle O'Reilly. They came out to check on Adam Cole, and they was looking at Jay White. Jay White just walked off and all that stuff. But as of right now, Adam Cole is done. He's off TV. He's going to be gone for a little bit. We probably won't see Adam Cole to probably close to, who knows? I don't know. I don't know how long ago when you got a torn labrum. That's a shoulder injury. I don't know. Excuse me. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, ladies and gentlemen. I am not sure. But, like I said, match was fire. It was a good match, but the ending and how it just ended abruptly, I was like, man, they looked like they was just getting started. Like they was shifted from every other gear. They was like, all right, we're gonna shift to gear 1. Then we're gonna shift to gear 2. Then we're gonna shift this thing up to gear 3. And then right when they was ready to shift that thing up to gear 4, that's when it just fell flat. Like, I don't know how y'all feel about it, but that's what it felt like to me as I watched everything. Listen, all these in the crowd, they was cheering for Paige. They was cheering for Okada. They was booing White. They was booing Cole. But the fans, they loved it. They enjoyed what they saw. Matchup was great, but the ending, I knew Jay was going to retain his championship, but Adam's Cole injury kind of killed it. And when the video is finished, I'm going to talk about two things. I'm going to talk about why I personally think that wrestling as a whole needs an off-season. It really does. And there was a host of WWE cast that was tuning in. Becky Lynch was watching. Every time somebody tweeted about it. And then, ladies and gentlemen, Austin Creed took away his WWE name. He's no longer as Xavier Woods on Twitter. Ladies and gentlemen, is Xavier Woods leaving? Is he gonna be on that lawsuit that Sasha Banks and Naomi is on possibly? I was saying, cause he was watching. He said, Claudio, let's go, cause they tight. Remember, both his boys is over here. Claudio is here. Adam Cole. You remember the party group? Jagged Edge song. They was singing the song all the time. Where the party at? Remember they did it on Up, Up, Down, Down? Think about it. But everybody over here now. Now all we need is Tyler Breeze. Tyler Breeze come through. Now, here's the big question. If Woods is leaving WWE, what does that mean for Kofi Kingston and Big E? That is a big question. Now, I know they signed that contract, but they were supposed to be there for a couple more years. But, and I'm thinking Woods he probably had enough. He probably had enough. I mean, I know he's been shucking and jiving for so long, but he probably didn't had enough with the shucking and jiving. He probably said, I'm done with this buck dancing gimmick. I done did the buck dancing. I'm tired of all these stupid rematches. We get screwed every year at WrestleMania. You dang near done broke Big E's neck. Dang near gonna be out for another year. Kofi just lose all day. I lose all day. What's the point of me even being here? I mean, Adam Cole's having fun. I know he just got hurt, and Claudio just pulled up. I'm like, man, I don't need to be here no more. So I don't know. I have no idea. I didn't hear nothing about it, but reading his Twitter page, you can see it. WWE thing is not on. It's not in the act. Anytime when you leave in WWE, if you take that out of your Twitter handle thing, I don't know. So maybe he's done. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us go and talk about the main event. Jon Moxley versus Hiroshi Tanahashi for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, I wanted this match to slap. Did the match slap? Yes, it slapped. But here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the kicker. I get the script. I get the storyline. Moxley's been trying his best to get his hands on Tanahashi for 3 years. And he claims that Tanahashi has been avoiding him. Tanahashi said, no, I ain't been avoiding you. You just weren't on my level, young man. Moxley, for some reason, loves to get busted open. Ladies and gentlemen, Blood and Guts is on Wednesday night. John, you couldn't wait till Wednesday to get busted open? And I was like, man, I know people gonna say I'm nitpicking, but dog, you know, wait till Wednesday. Then if you want to get busted open, I'm like, but you know Moxley can't help himself. He feels that this is going to elevate the match. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a dude that actually enjoys seeing somebody get busted open. I think it brings sympathy to a character when it comes to wrestling. But you don't need to bleed every freaking week or every freaking match you're in. This is why I got to give Heyman props. Heyman was bleeding every match he did. And then he even put a tweet, man, I'm tired of bleeding. I said, yeah, we tired of you bleeding too, bro. You don't need to bleed all the time. Blood should only calls for it when it calls for it. Don't do it every match you're in. Dang near every match Moxley be in, this fool find a way to get busted over. And I'm like, bro, you don't need to bleed. Now, I know the crowd was going crazy, but still, you don't need to bleed, man. You just don't need to bleed all the freaking time. This is when it gets time to get a little stale, and people are going to be like, man, AEW just bleed too much. I said, yeah, you kind of have a point. For the people that don't like AEW, that be finding anything to just nitpick with AEW, they be telling them that AEW just bleeds too much. I said, you know what? At some points, they do. And this is a situation where I'm like, man, Moxley, you didn't need to bleed, bro. You didn't. Moxley did not need to bleed. Moxley could have waited till Wednesday night to find this stuff to get busted open. I would have been cool with that. But because he bled, I kind of was like, I said, here we go again. Same typical Moxley style type of match. Moxley got to get busted open. And then we got to sit here and look at this man bleeding all over the place. That's why my heart goes out to Renee. I don't know how she put up with this fool. I don't know. I be like, I ask myself, I know she be like, this fool, here he is coming home bleeding up all my sheets again. I take my hat off to her. I take my hat off to her. She done gave birth to his baby girl. And he's sitting up here doing all this foolishness I'm like, bro, you don't need to bleed all the time. Switch it up a little bit, man. I would have been cool if he did bleed. Because the match, it was fine. Tanahashi is actually a solid wrestler. Like, I've seen him wrestle before. I've seen him wrestle 2 matches. And I think him and Moxley did have good chemistry from what they was able to do. I don't think it was match of the night quality, but what they was able to do, storytelling wise, fine. The blood, I don't think it needed. I don't think you needed blood because it just kills Moxley's motive sometimes. It kills like what he's trying to do. You don't need to bleed all the time. You just don't. If I'm going to quote unquote, if people want to say I'm nitpicking, you don't need to bleed all the time. And I knew right when he found a way to get busted over, I said, oh, here he is again. I said, man, Mox, bro, come on, dog. You was doing fine until you found a way to get busted. I mean, he just be ready. It seemed like he be on cue. All right, Tanahashi, hit me in the head so I can blade. Go ahead, man. I'm ready. I'm ready. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize. I don't know why I just started coughing out of nowhere. So that's an edit. So I edit that part out. But this matchup, like I said, man, it was solid for what it was able to do, what it was able to tell. I just didn't need Moxley bleed. If like I said, if it's any nitpicking, if you want to say I'm nitpicking, he didn't need to bleed, man. He just didn't. So Moxley, he beats Tanahashi. He is now your new AEW Interim World Champion. So after the match, the crowd goes nuts. They go crazy. Picks up Tanahashi. Goes to shake the man's hand. Here come Jericho, Jeff and Matt, and Jake Hager and them. Here they come. They come out and they jump them. They beat the brakes off of them. Then here come Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Kingston. And then here come Santana Ortiz. Man, I got to get used to the bald head Ortiz, ladies and gentlemen. I got to get used to it. I gotta get used to bald head Ortiz. I gotta get used to man. And then after that, so then they getting jumped by them. So all of them out there. Then here come Claudio. Claudio come out there. Then you Garcia out there. So as they start beating the brakes off everybody, Mox is sitting up there bleeding. Tanahashi's somewhere laid out. Claudio and Eddie Kingston kind of tease the little back history that they have. So obviously they're going to have to get along because this is setting up for blood and guts. So I like the fact that you're getting people ready for blood and guts. That's the good way to go off. I got to give Tony Khan props. And I had to give Tony Khan props for the show being, the main show strictly being 3 hours and a little change. Altogether, the show was about 4 hours and 20 some minutes, if I'm not mistaken. About 4 hours 20 minutes at best, if I'm not mistaken. I gotta give Tony Khan props. Even with all the matches we had, everything about the show, the timing, the match placement, don't have a problem with none of the match placement. I think everybody followed suit. Every matchup that was supposed to take place, everything followed suit. And Tony Khan, I just wish that you booked this show with more of an importance that it mattered, because at the end of the day, what just took place, history was made tonight, or last night, ladies and gentlemen. History was made. I gotta give him, the guy that runs New Japan Wrestling, everybody that participated on the show. I gotta give everybody nothing but props. So, at the end of the day, my final grade for this show is nothing more than a 9 out of 10. And as of right now, this is the best AEW pay-per-view. Kudos with the help of New Japan so far of this year. This is the best pay-per-view for, as a matter of fact, heck, I might have to say that this is the best pay-per-view all year so far. WrestleMania was good. Double or Nothing was decent. Hell in a Cell was okay. This by far is the best pay-per-view running of 2022. No question. If you got a problem with that, you can debate your mama. I'm just here to tell you. And I know there's going to be somebody that's going to be out there that's going to hop on their YouTube channel and they going to hate on everything that happened. Why? Because that's what they do. You know me. I come with a very unbiased take about AEW when they do things that make absolutely no sense. When they do things that make sense, like what took place last night, I gotta give them praise. I can't hate on it. I cannot take a dump on it. I gotta give them praise. So, at the end of the day, my final grade for the show is a 9 out of 10. Very good pay-per-view. By far, best pay-per-view for AEW so far. Kudos to New Japan coming along. Forbidden Door for me was 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up. I said I was supposed to talk about some other situation before I got off. I'm trying to remember. I said something. I talked about Xavier Woods. It was something else that I wanted to speak on. Oh yeah. Wrestling needs off season, ladies and gentlemen. With the multiple injuries that we have throughout all the wrestling, I'm not just talking about AEW. I'm talking about WWE, you name it, everybody else too. I think we need to come up with some type of off-season. WWE, they'll go first. So, when WWE's not on television, AEW will get all the views. Or whatever wrestling you like. If you like MLW, if you like Impact, if you like New Japan, all of them they'll still be on. But the Raw after WrestleMania and the SmackDown after WrestleMania needs to be the cutoff for them. You won't see no Raw or SmackDown until so from April, you got May, you got June, they come back in July. Fresh. This will also give Vince and the creative team time to brainstorm and come up with something that makes sense so people will anticipate when Raw and SmackDown returns. You can't wait to see it because these fools had time to brainstorm and come up with something that makes absolutely some sense so that you can be like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna watch Raw. I'm gonna watch SmackDown because I'm gonna watch NXT because I haven't seen them in forever. They took an off season. They've been off TV. Let me see what they're doing. AEW. Since we got this Forbidden Door stuff, Forbidden Door, the Dynamite Rampage after Forbidden Door will be the cutoff for them. Because as of right now, AEW needs a off season bad. With all the injuries they got, and fools was coming at Tony Khan for bringing all these clowns in. This is why you need a bloated roster. You need a bloated roster because you never know when somebody gonna go down with injury. Wrestling, as much as I enjoy wrestling, man, sometimes my heart goes out to these cats that be in the ring because they go out here, they trying to entertain us. They trying to put their bodies on the line for us. And any knick-knack, any situation can happen. Somebody can tweak this, they can miss that. Anything can happen. That's why I pray for these cats all the time. I pray that they be 100% successful with their matches. I don't care if I don't like them or not. I pray for a successful match because I don't want to see nobody get hurt. I want to see these wrestlers have a successful career, be able to do what they love, which is entertain us. Go out their way, put on a great match, tell a great story, get us to be where we like, man, this is great, this is excellent. I can't wait for the next week. AEW and Rampage, they take a break. You won't see them too close to All Out time. That's how it be. You know, like I don't know how y'all feel about an off season, but that's what I would do. But ladies and gentlemen, listen, I didn't do a Rampage because for some reason my DVR didn't tape it, so I wasn't able to review Rampage. So I know some of y'all was wondering how come I didn't review it. That's why I didn't review it, because I didn't see it. You know, and I'm kind of glad I didn't see it because I didn't want to see Cash versus Cobbs. I didn't want to take the spoil away from the triple threat tag team match. But I said I gave my honest review about the show. This is by far AEW's best pay-per-view yet. Kudos to the New Japan cats coming through. The New Japan cats helped out a lot. This Forbidden Door pay-per-view, 2 thumbs up. Ladies and gentlemen, hit the freaking comment section up. You tell me how you felt about the show. Again, I apologize for coughing. I don't know what the clown happened. That just came out the woodwork. So I apologize. I'm going to try to edit that part out. But, hey, y'all know exactly what to do. Kudos to the new cats coming through, subscribing, listen to me. I always tell y'all all the time, I'm not the best articulator on here. I do not like to stumble over my words. I like to be as authentic. I like to be, real as I can. What I tell you, I keep it real on this channel. Like I said, if you're new to this channel, feel free to subscribe. Share this video everywhere on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, you name it, TikTok. If you need to clip something that you think I said that makes sense. This me. I'm authentic 100%. This is Casey Field. I keep it as real as I can. Told you the honest truth about the show. Hit the comment section up. This is your boy Casey Field, Wrestling the Takes. I'll talk to y'all cats on Wednesday night. Holla at your boy.